When you open your eyes in the morning, something remarkable has already happened. You have been given another chance, not a continuation of yesterday's failures, not a reminder of what went wrong, but a fresh beginning. The morning does not ask you to carry the weight of past mistakes into a new day. It invites you to set them down and step forward lighter than before. No matter what yesterday looked like, today begins untouched. The way you begin your morning quietly sets the tone for everything that follows. Before the day has the chance to speak into your life, you are already deciding what will shape your thoughts, your emotions, and your responses. The first moments after you wake are like the foundation of a building. If they are rushed, scattered, or filled with worry, the rest of the day often leans in the same direction. But when the morning is grounded and intentional, it gives the entire day a steadiness that can withstand pressure. Many people step into their day already reacting. They reach for noise before they reach for clarity. Messages, headlines, demands, and worries rush in before the heart has had time to settle. When this happens, the mind becomes crowded, and anxiety finds an open door. The day feels hurried before it even begins. But it does not have to be that way. The morning gives you a choice to be led by intention or driven by urgency. What you allow into your mind early in the day matters more than you realize. Thoughts planted in the morning often grow throughout the day. If you begin with fear, frustration, or distraction, those seeds tend to follow you into your conversations, decisions, and reactions. But if you begin with calm, focus, and purpose, you carry that strength with you into every challenge you face. The morning is not just a start, it is a signal that tells your spirit how to move. Starting the day right does not require long rituals or perfect conditions. It requires awareness. It is the decision to pause before rushing forward, to center your heart before engaging the world. Even a few quiet moments can shift the direction of the entire day. In those moments, you remind yourself that you do not have to carry every burden at once, and you do not have to solve every problem before breakfast. A grounded morning creates margin. It slows your inner pace so that when the day speeds up, you are not easily thrown off balance. When challenges arise, you respond rather than react. When delays occur, patience replaces frustration. When pressure increases, calm helps you think clearly instead of panicking. The strength you need later in the day is often built in the stillness of the morning. There will always be distractions waiting for you. The world is quick to demand your attention and eager to define your priorities for you. If you do not choose how to begin your day, something else will choose for you. And more often than not, it will lead you into stress rather than peace. Intention is a form of protection. It guards your focus and preserves your energy for what truly matters. As you begin your day with purpose, you also begin to see your time differently. The hours no longer feel like something to survive, but something to steward. You move with direction instead of confusion. You become less reactive to circumstances and more responsive to values. This shift does not make the day perfect, but it makes it meaningful. Starting your morning right also affects how you treat others. When you begin the day centered, you are more patient in conversation, more thoughtful in response, and more compassionate under pressure. Your inner state shapes your outward behavior. A calm beginning produces calmer interactions, even in difficult moments. Over time, this way of beginning the day becomes a discipline. It trains your heart to seek stability before activity and clarity before decision. You learn that the morning is not something to rush through, but something to honor. It is the doorway through which you enter the rest of your day, and how you step through that doorway matters. So guard your mornings carefully. Choose what you think about, what you focus on, and what you allow to shape you. Because when you start your day with intention, the day does not control you. You carry direction into it. Too many people wake up already exhausted, not because the day has begun, but because the past has followed them into the present. Regret replays in the mind. Guilt whispers reminders of what should have been done differently. Fear predicts that today will be no better than yesterday. But the truth is this: the morning does not belong to your past. It belongs to possibility. You are not required to relive old failures simply because you remember them. A new day carries new mercy, new strength, and new opportunity. The mistakes of yesterday may have taught you lessons, but they do not have the authority to define you today. You may have stumbled, fallen short, or missed the mark, but you are not disqualified from beginning again. Each morning stands as quiet proof that renewal is possible, that life has not given up on you, and that your story is still being written. There is power in how you interpret the morning. If you see it as another burden, the day will feel heavy before it even begins. But if you see it as a gift, something within you shifts. Hope rises. Courage returns. You begin to understand that starting again is not a sign of weakness, but of grace. The strongest people are not those who never fail, but those who refuse to let failure have the final word. The morning gives you space to realign your heart. It offers a moment to breathe before the noise begins, before demands rush in, before expectations press down. In that quiet space, you are reminded that Toda, why, does not have to follow the same pattern as yesterday. You can choose a different attitude, a different response, a different path. Change often begins not with a dramatic decision, but with a quiet morning choice to begin anew. Let go of the idea that you must earn the right to start fresh. A new day is not a reward for perfect behavior. It is a gift given freely. You do not need to have everything figured out to move forward. You do not need to feel confident to take the first step. You only need to be willing to begin. Even small steps taken in the morning can set a new direction for the entire day. There will be days when the past feels louder than hope. On those mornings, remind yourself that yesterday is over. It cannot be changed, but it can be released. Carry forward the wisdom, but leave behind the shame. Growth happens when you learn from the past without living in it. The morning teaches you this lesson again and again. If you are willing to listen, starting fresh does not mean pretending that life is easy or that challenges have disappeared. It means facing what lies ahead with renewed strength rather than old discouragement. It means trusting that you are not the same person you were yesterday, because each day has the power to shape you. Time, when met with intention, becomes a partner in growth rather than an enemy. As the sun rises, so does opportunity. Each morning stands as an invitation to begin again, to believe again, to try again. You are not bound to repeat what failed before. You are free to build something new today. One choice, one step, one moment at a time. So receive the morning as it was meant to be received, not as a reminder of yesterday, but as a fresh beginning calling you forward. Before the world begins to speak loudly, there is a quiet window in the morning that is easy to overlook. It is a moment when demands have not yet crowded your thoughts and expectations have not yet claimed your attention. In that stillness, something important happens. Your soul has room to breathe. The noise has not yet arrived, and in that calm space, clarity can return and strength can quietly take its place. Stillness in the morning is not about escaping responsibility. It is about preparing for it. When you give yourself a few moments of quiet before the day begins, you are not avoiding the world. You are steadying yourself for it. Without stillness, the mind becomes reactive, jumping from one concern to another. But in quiet, your thoughts begin to settle, and what truly matters rises to the surface. The world is eager to set your pace for you. It pushes urgency, distraction, and comparison from the moment you open your eyes. If you immediately surrender to that pace, you begin the day already behind, already anxious, already scattered. Stillness interrupts that cycle. It reminds you that you do not have to move at the same speed as everything around you to move forward with purpose. In the quiet of the morning, you regain perspective. Problems that seemed overwhelming the night before often look different in the light of a new day. When the mind is calm, fear loses some of its grip. You begin to see solutions instead of only obstacles. Stillness does not change circumstances, but it changes how you see them, and that changes everything. This quiet time strengthens the soul in ways that activity cannot. It deepens patience and nurtures calm. It trains you to listen rather than react, to reflect rather than rush. When you start the day in stillness, you carry that composure into the hours ahead. You become less easily provoked, less driven by emotion, and more guided by wisdom. Stillness also restores balance. Life has a way of pulling your attention outward, leaving little space for reflection. The morning offers a chance to reconnect with what grounds you. In those quiet moments, you remember who you are and what you value before the world tries to tell you who you should be. That grounding becomes an anchor when the day grows demanding. There will be mornings when stillness feels uncomfortable. Silence can bring thoughts you have been avoiding, questions you would rather postpone. But those moments are often the most valuable. They reveal what needs attention and healing. Facing those thoughts in the calm of the morning prepares you to walk through the day with honesty and strength rather than avoidance. Stillness does not require perfection or long hours. Even a few minutes can make a DI. What matters is the intention to pause, to listen, to be present before you act. Over time, this practice reshapes your inner life. Calm becomes more natural, patience grows deeper, strength becomes steadier. You no longer feel as though you are constantly catching up. Instead, you move with purpose. When the day begins with stillness, the noise that follows has less power over you. You are not as easily pulled into chaos because you started from a place of peace. You are better prepared to respond thoughtfully, to wait patiently, and to stand firmly when challenges arise. The calm you cultivate in the morning becomes a refuge you can return to throughout the day. So do not rush past the quiet gift of the morning. Embrace the stillness before the world speaks, because a calm beginning strengthens the soul to face whatever the day may bring. What you do each morning, even in the smallest ways, is quietly shaping the direction of your life. Destiny is not formed in one dramatic moment, but in repeated choices that seem ordinary at the time. Daily discipline, practiced faithfully at the start of the day, builds consistency where motivation alone cannot. When you commit to simple, purposeful habits each morning, you are training your spirit to stand firm no matter what the day brings. Discipline is often misunderstood as restriction, but in truth it is a form of freedom. It frees you from being controlled by mood, circumstance, or impulse. When you rely only on motiva, you become vulnerable to inconsistency because motivation rises and falls. Discipline, however, remains steady. It shows up even when enthusiasm fades. The morning is where this discipline takes root, before distractions compete for your attention. Small habits practiced every day carry great power. A few moments of focus, reflection, and intention each morning may not feel impressive, but over time they create stability and strength. Consistency compounds. What feels insignificant today becomes transformative over weeks, months, and years. The character you admire in others is often the result of unseen daily discipline practiced faithfully over time. Morning discipline also creates rhythm. It gives your life structure and direction. Instead of drifting into the day, you step into it with purpose. This rhythm brings calm because you know what anchors you. When challenges arise, you are not scrambling for balance, you already have it. Discipline builds a foundation that supports you when life becomes unpredictable. There will be mornings when discipline feels difficult. Fatigue, discouragement, or distraction may tempt you to abandon your routine. But it is in those moments that discipline matters most. Choosing consistency when it is inconvenient strengthens resolve. It teaches you that you can keep going even when conditions are not ideal. This perseverance builds confidence and resilience. Daily discipline also sharpens focus. When you begin each morning with Enshin, you become more aware of how you use your time and energy. You learn to distinguish between what is urgent and what is important. This clarity helps you avoid being pulled in every direction by demands that do not align with your values. Discipline guards your priorities and keeps you centered. Over time, morning discipline shapes your identity. You begin to see yourself as someone who shows up consistently, who follows through, who remains faithful in small things. This self-trust becomes a source of strength. You know that when challenges come, you have the habits and character to face them. Discipline becomes less about effort and more about who you are. The beauty of daily discipline is that it does not require perfection. Missed mornings do not erase progress. What matters is the commitment to return, to begin again, to remain faithful to the process. Growth is not linear, but consistency over time produces lasting change. Each disciplined morning is a step toward becoming the person you are meant to be. As discipline becomes part of your mornings, you will notice a shift in how you face the day. You move with confidence instead of uncertainty. You respond with patience instead of frustration. You remain calm under pressure because your foundation is secure. Discipline practiced daily becomes character revealed over a lifetime. So honor your mornings. Practice discipline in small, steady ways, because what you do faithfully at the start of each day is shaping the strength, consistency, and character of your entire life. What you draw from in the morning determines what you have to give throughout the day. When the day begins without an inner source of strength, every challenge feels heavier, every delay more frustrating, and every setback more discouraging. But when the morning fuels your spirit, you step into the hours ahead with courage, patience, and steadiness. You are not scrambling to find strength later because you already gathered it at the start. Morning faith is not about ritual, it is about alignment. It is the quiet decision to anchor your heart before the world pulls at it. When you begin the day grounded, you carry a sense of assurance that does not depend on circumstances. This assurance becomes courage when uncertainty appears. It allows you to move forward even when the path is unclear, trusting that you are not walking alone. Courage born in the morning does not shout. It is not reckless or impulsive. It is calm, steady, and deliberate. It gives you the confidence to face difficult conversations, to make wise decisions, and to stand firm in your values without fear. This courage does not remove challenges, but it removes the power of fear to control your response to them. Patience also grows from a grounded beginning. When your heart is settled early, delays feel less threatening. You are not as easily irritated when things move slowly or plans change. Morning faith reminds you that timing has purpose and not everything must be resolved immediately. This patience protects your peace and allows you to move through the day without being constantly agitated by what you cannot control. Strength, patience, and calm are closely connected. When one is present, the others follow. A strong beginning leads to patient endurance. Patient endurance leads to calm confidence. Calm confidence allows strength to last. Morning faith weaves these qualities together, forming a steady foundation that supports you when pressure increases. As the day unfolds, unexpected challenges will come. Words may be spoken that test your restraint. Situations may arise that demand wisdom rather than reaction. When your day begins anchored, you are less likely to be shaken. You pause before responding. You think before acting. You choose composure over chaos because your spirit has already been steadied. Morning faith also changes how you view setbacks. Instead of seeing them as interruptions, you see them as part of the journey. Instead of feeling defeated by obstacles, you face them with resilience. You understand that one difficult moment does not define the entire day. This perspective keeps discouragement from settling in and draining your strength. Over time, this way of beginning the day builds trust within yourself. You learn that you can face uncertainty without panic. You learn that patience is possible even when answers are slow. You learn that calm can exist even when circumstances are challenging. T. His lessons shape your character and deepen your confidence. The strength you gain in the morning does not fade by midday. It carries you through long hours, difficult decisions, and unexpected turns. It becomes the quiet support beneath every action and every choice. When the day ends, you are not depleted, you are grounded, knowing you met the day with intention and courage. So begin each morning by drawing from a deeper source. Let faith fuel your courage, patience, and strength, because when your foundation is set at the start, the day cannot easily shake you. Starting your day right is not about creating a perfect morning or following a flawless routine. It is about alignment. It is about intentionally setting your heart, mind, and direction before the day begins to pull you in different directions. Too often, people delay starting until everything feels right. But alignment does not require ideal conditions. It requires willingness. A sincere decision to begin the day with purpose is far more powerful than any polished routine. Perfection creates pressure, and pressure often leads to discouragement. When you believe your morning must look a certain way to count, you risk giving up altogether when it falls short. Alignment, however, invites flexibility. It allows you to start where you are, with what you have, trusting that intention matters more than appearance. Even imperfect mornings can still set a meaningful direction. Alignment begins with awareness. It is pausing long enough to ask yourself what truly matters today. It is choosing focus over distraction, calm over chaos, and purpose over haste. When your inner world is aligned, your outer actions follow naturally. You do not have to force productivity or motivation. They flow from clarity. A simple, aligned beginning can change the entire day. When you take a moment to center your thoughts, you become more deliberate in how you speak, act, and respond. Challenges still arise, but they no longer feel overwhelming. You meet them with patience and steadiness because your foundation was set before the day began. Alignment also keeps you grounded in your values. In a world full of competing demands, it is easy to lose sight of what matters most. An aligned morning reminds you who you are and what you stand for. This clarity helps you make decisions that reflect your true priorities rather than reacting to external pressure. Intentional mornings create continuity. Each day builds on the last, forming a rhythm that brings stability and confidence. You stop feeling like you're constantly starting over and begin to see progress unfolding naturally. Alignment turns ordinary days into meaningful steps forward. There will be mornings when alignment feels difficult. Distractions, fatigue, or unexpected circumstances may interfere. But alignment does not require long hours or elaborate practices. It can be as simple as a moment of stillness, a focused breath, or a quiet intention. What matters is the direction of your heart, not the duration of the moment. Over time, aligned mornings shape aligned lives. You begin to move through your days with greater calm, patience, and purpose. You become less reactive and more reflective. Life feels less like a series of demands and more like a journey guided by intention. Starting your day right is not about achieving perfection. It is about choosing alignment again and again. Each morning offers a new opportunity to begin with clarity and purpose. When you accept this, you free yourself from pressure and open yourself to growth. So let each morning be a moment of realignment, where intention replaces haste and purpose replaces pressure, and watch how even the simplest beginnings lead to a life of steady strength and peace.